set it up so that you win before you arrive when you were going for listings. So when you stack everything up, when you do your videos and you have the website, when you have a good message, DMing them, putting the investor link in the message, if they've done enough research to where I think their guard has been down to when they come and talk to me, I'm giving them the same conversation.
You turn the whole house into bedrooms and you rent by the room. Anything like that is going to be, successful.
Number one, the one we're talking about today, is what, Kim?
Senior housing.
Traditional real estate investing is dead. Robert Kiyosaki and Ken McElroy think this is the solution.
The number one investment in real estate.
Be sure to watch until the end to uncover just how lucrative this housing solution can be.
All right, so landlord one wants to limit my occupants, check her landlord rental history, very nosy, wants to know the plans in detail. So he's kind of skeptical, it sounds like. He's going to probably enforce like rules. He's probably going to want a contingency plan, maybe more money. Have you come into contact with people like that yet?
Who want the rental history?
Yeah, they're
They
just
wanted rental history.
They're a little more skeptical.
Those are the people like what you're the question you have now. Those are the people that you're dealing with, those realtor.com homes, those that are on the market. Those people and like you said, those are property management questions and criteria. And me personally, I wouldn't even, because you're not gonna be flexible with me, and then you're gonna be a PIA for everything.
Bingo.
So you know, me personally, once you start talking about all of those things, now, if you're all the way there with the credit, and if you have the money, yes, I would consider it. But if you're questioning the actual business model, and if you're giving me a hard time about the people, with the amount of people, that's not going to work. I think just for that point, because the point is to maximize the cash flow, and you can't do that unless you maximize the people that you can put into the home.
Yeah.
So
I like what you said earlier about the something to the effect of you don't chase people, right? So if you guys do, and this is just kind of a limited mindset, so people that don't have options, maybe they felt like they got lucky, like, oh, I have this one landlord that's at least curious about it. But yeah, like you said, they're going to be a pain to work with. Delay actually, she answered it here, in my opinion. Landlord 2 is laid back, excited about the program, allowed me to tour, right? He may want a little bit more, or not even want. That's the rent is a little bit more. So I recommend, you're just prospecting to find someone like landlord number 2. So yeah, so I recommend don't work with people that are like landlord number 1. You want people that understand it, that are excited, they see the value in it. That's kind of what you're screening for and what you're looking for, in my opinion. And you'll see a lot of people in here are looking for, they say they have landlords needed. They have absolutely no pitch. They haven't mentioned what they have done. They haven't mentioned, what the type of value is that they bring, because it's a good chance that they have not followed the steps like Stacy did in the gold course. Do not think that just because you have the property, you're magically going to get all these government contracts and stuff like that. You got to put in the work. You have an investor call coming up, so we got to get going. D. Wiggins has been building his list. What should I have available when pitching to the landlord face to face? This is the question that I wanted to highlight. What would you want to see from a person that wants to rent your property for business purposes? So that's what he's asking investors in the group. What do you want to see? So I'll throw that back to you, Stacy. What were some of the questions that he asked of you, if any? Did he mention any things that he was looking for, or what would, if you didn't say it outright, why do you think he wanted to work with you?
I think the investors are not giving me a hard time. I think it's how, that's what Krista says, the real estate coach that I was working with. How she talked about set it up so that you win before you arrive when you were going for listings. So when you stack everything up, when you do your videos and you have the website, when you have a good message, DMing them, putting the investor link in the message. If they've done enough research to where I think their guard has been down to when they come and talk to me, I'm giving them the same conversation. And they're not side eyeing me. Like they've already researched it enough, or they're like, okay, cool. With this investor that I have now, he already was open to wanting to do something like this. It was just that I hit him at the right time, and I was already, all of the stuff that he was going to have to do, I already did it. I've already done it. So I was taking a lot off of his plate. So I think if you present some things, I think you have to kind of think about what's your strong point, and um because they can figure this out on their own. Like gold courses, I mean, they can access gold course. So you really want to, in your messaging, let them know, hey, listen, I've already done a lot of this work. I've already talked to the agencies. These are the areas that are gaining interest. And that's what I put in that message. So, because especially when you're messaging strangers, you have to kind of, because people get messaged every day. You know what I'm saying? So you want to give them enough for them to feel like this is a real person, this is not a spam, and give them enough credit checkers so that when they do talk to you, they're like, okay, cool, tell me what you got going on. And that's basically when we run the calls. I told them, hey, listen, I've been talking to the agencies. I've been marketing to them for a while now. I've taken calls with them. These are the areas of interest. And I'm talking to you now because, I'm at the point where we need the property. And I'm looking to, partner with someone. And I tell them, ideally what we're looking for in terms of the property. But then you have to have that conversation together too. So when you're telling them, hey, listen, we want 4 beds, we want at least 2 bath, at least. We want them in a decent, you have to kind of know your area. You want it, and so I can tell them, hey, listen, I'm looking for something like I'm okay with the city, but more towards the county, and I'm telling them, hey, like Woodlawn down to Randallstown. I'm telling them single family house. I'm running the numbers with them. I'm telling them, hey, listen, I talked to the agencies. We're kind of getting around 625, 650. This is what I'm telling them, the agencies. So they, if you're telling the investor all of this, then they're like, okay. It just solidifies, I feel like, in their mind. Okay, you have to sound like you know what you're talking about.
Want to learn more about the future real estate? Sign up for your free training material at www.grouphomeriches.com.